Hi everyone, welcome back to the Hey King channel. So today we're going to be doing theoretical probability. I'm not sure why there's a why you can see the bottom of my desktop. So I might have a bit of difficulty changing colors today. So today's learning intention is to understand how theoretical probability is written and shown in math. And your success criteria today is that you can identify the sample space, which I'll go over. You can find the probability of an event occurring, and you can write the probability as a percentage. So I've just written a few vocabulary that's really important for this exercise. So the first one is that you need to understand what a random experiment is. So a random experiment is an activity that happens by chance and that produces varying results. So a trial is a single component of an experiment, for example, tossing a coin or rolling a dice. An outcome is a possible result of the experiment, for example, rolling a 5 on a dice or a coin showing tails, or I should probably write on a dice. All right. An event is a single outcome, so like rolling a 3, or a collection of outcomes, which is like rolling a 3, 4, or 5. It could be either or. You just need to read the question. And I would be writing these down in your book because I think it's really important and you carry it all the way up to, senior. Probability, a number between 0 and 1. So this is the fraction that you would use. So the number of outcomes where the event occurs over the total number of outcomes. And this can be written as a fraction, decimal, or a percentage. And the last one is sample space, and that's a set of all possible outcomes of an experiment, which I will let you know how that is written in probability. So writing probability expressions, there's a few examples. So the first one is you write PR for probability. So this stands for probability. So if I was to say, what's the probability of getting a green? That means probability that the outcome is green. That's what that means. Here, it's the probability that the number is even. This is like a probability less than 3 occurring. So you usually write probability and what you're trying to find in brackets. And then afterwards, you'd write like the fraction, decimal, percentage required. So, probability that the number is less than 3. So you could probably use this if you had a question based on a dice or a spinner that had numbers less than 3. Now, I've got this picture from your textbook, but it's really important that you know the words required to describe probability. So you've got, zeros being impossible. This is like an even chance, or sometimes we say 50-50. In percentages, we do 50%, and like 1 being like certain. And there's more words like unlikely, highly, unlikely, likely, possible. All right, but it's just, at the moment, we're just going to be dealing with perhaps about 5 words. So here we've got a worked example. I know I cut off the E, but it's an E. So a spinner has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on it, each with an equal area. That's important because, if we had a spinner that had, number 1 being like that big, and we had the other numbers all like not as equal, that wouldn't be a fair chance of rolling. And usually that's not the case in probability. They usually tell you that it's all equal. So it's spun once. What is the sample space? So to list the sample space, you have to do these little squiggly brackets. Okay, takes me a while. I don't know if you've seen me do it on the whiteboard before, but okay. So the sample space of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 would look like this. And you do put the comma in, right? Now, you don't do this, okay? Don't do this. We want a nice squiggly bracket, and it's a good habit to get into. So probability of spinning a 3, I'd like you to write that as a fraction. That's what B is asking. So find the probability of spinning a 3. So probability of 3, like we went through here, how we write the probability expression, you write it as a fraction. So rolling a 3 is there's one possibility out of 5 total possibilities. And that's where I got the 5. So you just write 1 over 5. Question C says, find the probability of spinning an odd number, giving your answer as a decimal. So probability of spinning an odd number, okay, we've got 1, 3, and 5. So there's 3 odd numbers. That's where I got the 3 from. And there's a total of 5 outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the probability of spinning an odd number is 0.6. And how did I get that? So if you can use your calculator, but to work it out without the calculator, you would multiply the fraction by 100. Okay, you'd simplify it across. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 100 divided by 5 is 20, and then 3 times 20 is 60. So that's 60%. And as a decimal, because that's 60 over 100, 0.60, but we don't write the 0. Okay. Now, part D says probability of spinning an even number, write it as a percentage. So you write it out PR for probability, then you write even because you're trying to find an even number. You don't need to write even and then number. You can just write even. Equals, so I've done 2 over 5, and you can work it on your calculator. 2 divided by 5 times 100, which will give you 40%. Now, if you didn't want to use your calculator, you could do the same thing I've done in part C. So you could do 2 over 5 times 100, because percentages are over 100, out of 100. You could simplify diagonally, so 5 divided by 5 on both sides to get rid of this 5, the denominator. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 100 divided by 5 is 20, and now we've got 40%, okay? Because 40% is 40 over 100. And when we do this, that makes it over 100. All right, and that's primarily what today's exercise will be about. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions on probability or your statistics cat, let your teacher know. Thank you.